champions and we deserve this. We rose to the moment, and here we are.
Welcome to the Long Distance Playbook. Today is the 7th of February. I am not at Chris's house. I am in southern Germany on the other side of the mountains from Jay in Italy. However, Chris, we got over there at his house. And then it looks like Jeff might be a little cold weather. I don't know. You got some long sleeves there or something.
Yeah, it's cold weather for
Tampa, huh?
Right. Like,
hey, it's pretty nice here in Wiesbaden.
It's 58.
We got, we in like shorts weather right now.
But it's probably like 30 degrees.
Pretty much.
Oh, hey, just so the viewers are tracking, Jay's not able to join us just yet. He said he might be able to dial in. We'll see. But he's officiating some games at his location. He is a referee as his part-time hobby. And they got a big Super Bowl event going on at his location. So he's out there refereeing some games. All right. We wish him well. Hopefully he can join us when the time is right. All right. We're going to get the show started off like we always do. If we have honors of the week, we always accomplish that. Well, guess what? We got some honors of the week. Quite a bit. Pay attention. So we have Carlos Alcaraz. He won the Australian Open. Him winning the Australian Open, he also became the youngest player to achieve the career Grand Slam. That's amazing. Also, last week, Kelly Norda, she won the LPGA season opener. But it was kind of weird because the final round wasn't played. It was canceled due to weather. And I read an article, and it was somewhere around 40-mile-an-hour winds or something. Justin Rose won the Torrey Pines in dominant fashion. Took the lead, never looked back. Now, to change the little sport up, we have the NFL has given out their awards, and we're going to start from the top. We have MVP Matthew Stafford of the Los Angeles Rams. Defensive Player of the Year went to Myles Garrett of the Cleveland Browns. Offensive Rookie of the Year, and I might mess this guy's name up, so bear with me. Teteroa McMillan.
TT.
Appreciate it, Jeff.
That's what they call him, TT.
TT of the Carolina Panthers. And then we have the Protector of the Year, Joe Thuney of the Chicago Bears. Then we have Comeback Player of the Year. I know Jay would have loved this one. Christian McCaffrey of the San Francisco 49ers. Then we have Coach of the Year, Mike Vrabel of the New England Patriots. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Carson Schwarzenegger of the Cleveland Browns. Offensive Player of the Year went to Jackson Smith-Njigba of the Seattle Seahawks. Assistant Coach of the Year went to Josh McDaniels of the New England Patriots. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year, went to Bobby Wagner of the Washington Commanders. And then I like this award only because I am a veteran. I will be biased on that. I think Chris does too, and Jay. The Salute to Service Award went to Christian McCaffrey. And then we have a couple of notables. We have some Hall of Famers that are going to the NFL Hall of Fame. They have been announced. And regardless of your opinions, we could delve that into another episode. But today we're going to acknowledge these individuals for their accomplishment. Drew Brees, Roger Craig, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, and Adam Vinatieri. Please join me in giving all of these individuals a round of applause. We have two more honors of the week, and the next two we want to give our condolences to their friends, family, and loved ones. We have Mickey Lolick, former Detroit Tiger. He passed away at the age of 85. And Hall of Fame quarterback Sonny Jurgensen passed away at the age of 91. That wraps up our honors of the week. So, after honors of the week, we generally go to Jeff to the red card report.
We're not going to go to me. We're going to bring on our guest.
Oh, is he there?
Yes.
Yes.
You got it,
Where?
Chris?
Yep. All right.
Oh,
There we go.
Guys, good to see you.
Good
How
morning.
you doing, sir?
Thank
We
you.
got
Good.
Mr. Mike.
I'm in Panama.
Mr. Mike White, formerly working with ESPN, and I'm trying to go off the top of my head right now.
That's all right.
The Washington Post, correct?
Correct.
And he's here to talk about NBA trades because I'm confused.
I was gonna
Confused.
tell you guys real quick. I knew Sonny Jurgensen covering the Commanders and Washington football team all those years when I was a columnist in DC, and he was a character.
Absolutely.
And he was just an interesting dude. He was unbelievable. He talked to anybody. He had all these crazy stories. He'd get arrested, doing stuff in the city when he was younger. And, he kind of grew into an adult later. And anyway, so, it was kind of a sad day for a lot of Washington fans who knew him.
So I'm from Northern Virginia, and our other co-host who's not on right now, same thing.
Yeah, he called me from his flag football tournament.
Yes, he did.
I'm like, what's more important, this podcast or your flag football? Like, what you're not going to the NFL. You
Right.
could have a big media career, but like, you guys got to talk to him.
We've tried.
We tried talking to him on multiple things, and it literally goes in one ear and out the other.
Okay. Yeah. I know.
So I'm going to start with my first question about the trade.
Yes.
I'm not a Bulls fan, but I love some of the players that they have.
Right.
And why would they trade Kobe White?
Yes.
And Ayo DeSumo and Vukovic? That's like, to me, that was almost the heart of their team.
It's a great point. And all I can figure is they're tearing down. They don't believe that they can go to the next level as a playoff team. It's weird. The NBA, you're either you want to be something like contender status, or you want to be nothing like lottery status. Because if you're in the middle, it's the worst place to be. And I think that's where the Bulls are. And I think they're thinking, we got to start over. We have to start over. We have to figure out a way to get pieces that, I mean, they did get some draft picks back for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I believe that they need, that their thinking is, we're not on the level with, we're certainly not on the level with the Thunder. We're not on the level with the Pacers if Tyrese Halliburton is healthy, or the Celtics if Jason Tatum is healthy. So, in the Eastern, we can't even get out of the Eastern Conference in the next 5 years with this roster. So we got to start thinking in the future. I don't agree with it. I think you because with injuries and how many teams blow up their rosters so quickly now, anybody could have a window of 1 or 2, 3 years to get in the champion. I mean, the Knicks are right there on the doorstep right now. The Pacers are out. The Celtics are good, but they're not going to get there until they get Tatum back. And so the Knicks and the Pistons are in prime territory to become an NBA Finals team and maybe an NBA Finals champion. Although I don't see anybody beating Oklahoma City, Denver, or even, God, like if the Rockets could get it together, boy, I like that team.
Mm-hmm. They got young talent, old talent, great coach. Rockets is someone I wouldn't want to see at all.
Yeah. And also, because you brought up the Pacers, I think them picking up Zubac was more of a future thing when Halliburton does come back.
Yeah.
So they'll have a real inside presence, and Siakam can fall back into being a second scorer.
Siakam is he's as someone who like I wanted the Warriors to win that year that Toronto won. I'm sorry. Yeah, and they obviously were hurt. But my goodness, he's so good. He's one of those players you hate to have play against you, but you want him on your team.
All right.
Yeah, to echo your point, Chris, I feel like Zubac was this is almost like picking up the Miles Turner piece that they just got rid of in the offseason.
Yeah, Miles Turner's having a decent season now.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
And I was also really surprised that Giannis didn't get traded, nor Ja Morant. But Memphis traded Jaren
Jackson
up to Utah.
Yeah.
That's a huge piece. I mean, you're talking NBA Defensive Player of the Year. You're talking a guy who could score with both hands. That's a huge piece. I don't know if I make that trade unless you're blowing up what you got. I think the problem with Giannis and Ja Morant is they're probably asking for the moon, and people are figuring out, okay, how good is my team without him? How much greater is he going to be with him? The shocker to me was, well, not the shocker. I mean, I guess you're the Washington Wizards, so you got to do what you do. But I mean,
it's not a shocker.
Right. Exactly. Anthony Davis. I love AD. I think it's great, but I mean, it's not even making a move at the deadline. It's going on an archaeological dig. He's like, his initials are AD. Like next week they're going to be BC. I mean, he's old. I'm not saying he's old. I'm just saying like he's the only person I know who's got a Jesus Christ starter jacket. Jesus, he's old.
Well, he's injury prone, so
yeah. Like you like nudge him and he's on the IR for 3 weeks. It's crazy. He's more fragile than Charmin.
But
I'll be here all week. By the way, try the veal; it's good.
I think some of the trades that the Wizards did is showing they're trying to change the culture. Because because we kind of refer to them still as the Bullets. So that's how I look at it. I
the
think
bullet.
some of
Yeah, the Bullets. They keep shooting themselves in the foot.
We've been so again, being from Northern Virginia, and the other
Right.
co-host not here. We've seen this throughout the entirety of our lives.
Yeah.
So we literally said, "Oh, the one team that would trade for AD would absolutely be the Bullets." And then what happened?
Yep.
Absolutely. It's to me, I don't understand.
I mean, but Chris is right. I mean, there's something about, okay, you got Trae Young when he's not hurt, when AD's not hurt, like how, but it's like, you know, I covered them like, I mean, I was at every playoff game during the John Wall era, during the Gilbert Arenas era. I got to know Gilbert way too well because I probably enabled him for all his stupid practical jokes. But look, they were exciting and they got good, and it always felt like they were one real, you know, I don't know, big guy away from becoming a very special team. And like, yeah, it's hard to watch. I mean, my son, he's 15 now. All he's known other than John Wall and Bradley Beal is misery. And so so he's like, Dad, I still like the Wizards. I go, my God, it's like going out with a girlfriend who just cuts off parts of your extremities. It's awful. But okay, that's fine. And he goes, he likes other players and he's into it, but he's just like fixated on the way, like, Dad, like he has a picture on his phone of him and Bub Carrington. All right. Like, we met Charles Barkley in Panama. He's got Bub Carrington on his phone. There's something wrong with that. But anyway, it is depressing. And I hope they do change. I hope, you know, for the love of God, something happens with them because it's like I said, at some point you just, I don't know, law of averages. You just be good at some point.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, though, they're going to put fans in the stands because of them bringing them names.
Nope, not DC. You gotta have a winning product. Otherwise, I don't care what names you have, unless it's MJ.
Yeah, MJ sold it out, but they were like 38 and 45 for 2 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But when they got going, when I got there from the New York Times to the Washington Post in 2004, they had just a year later they traded for Gilbert, and then they had Antoine Jameson and Caron Butler. They got, and all of a sudden, like, they were a playoff team annually, and the only person in their way really was LeBron. They kept losing to him in the playoffs, but they were fun to watch. Gilbert was an MVP candidate at 1 year until he got hurt. And so, and DC, you could tell, had, like, everybody says, oh, DC's, you know, back in the day, Joe Gibbs, and they're always going to be a football town. DC at its core is a basketball town.
Absolutely.
They're just waiting to go crazy. You know, I mean, think about the whole Patrick Ewing, Georgetown days, and Maryland with Len Bias and all those good Maryland teams Gary Williams had. Like, DC at its core is a basketball town. If the Wizards could ever turn that place into like Eastern Conference champion NBA Finals team, that arena would be filled up. That arena would be one of the loudest in the league.
I completely agree.
Question for you, Mr. Wise.
Yeah.
What do you think about the James Harden and Darius Garland trade?
What's that?
The James Harden and Garland, Darius Garland, the Cleveland, the Cavs.
The Clippers traded James Harden?
Yeah.
Oh my God! No, I'm kidding. I knew that. I don't know. That's a hard one for me because, on one hand, you know, you're looking at whatever you think of James Harden. He's going to be a Hall of Famer one day, and he just, you know, it's almost like he's turning into Westbrook, where you keep moving him around and you try to keep the right fit, and it's like me before I went to my self-help group. Like, at some point, like, all these women, I keep saying they're the problem, and then somebody says, well, you know, why don't you look in the mirror one day? Oh crap, it's me. So I think something about James Harden is not clicking with these teams. Maybe he takes nights off. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know what it is, but Darius Garland is a great player, a great young player. That to me is a no-brainer move for the Clippers.
Right. So
and Kawhi Leonard's got a couple, all NBA years left. As long as he stays healthy, like why not try to put the right people around him if you're going to try to make a move?
So
please tell Mr. Wise of a Washington Wizard this move was getting Anthony Davis.
It was a Washington Wizards move to go get Anthony Davis.
That's our other host.
Yeah.
Mr.
Jay.
Game.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't Jay still have his flags on from flag football? Why is he being weighing in right now?
He's refereeing. He's not playing.
Oh, he's not playing. Oh, he's not even here. So obviously this doesn't pay him, but the refereeing does.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been there.
Hopefully he's better at refereeing.
I got respect for him.
So I think with the Harden trade I think that's the win now. I think that's what Cleveland is looking at.
Yes. Yeah, well, that's right, Chris. If he gets his if Donovan Mitchell feels like some of the scoring load can be eased off him and he can do his thing still, and Harden can take over some nights, take the baton, that's another, like, for instance, I was talking about those windows. Gosh, Cleveland was right there last year.
Yeah.
And so, that it closes quick. I mean, those guys are growing up, like in the West. Everybody's saying, oh, the Thunder are going to be good for a long time. Jokic is going to get another couple of titles. Like, wait a minute, Wembanyama's here. That's happening. That's going to be happening in the next 3 years. I'll be shocked if the Spurs do not win a title with Victor Wembanyama in 3 to 4 years.
I agree, because the Spurs are already giving OKC a run for their money.
Yeah.
It's going to be about matchups. Spurs don't want to see OKC. OKC doesn't want to see Spurs.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Spurs want to go against a healthy Denver in the playoffs either. So.
Well, you always counting out the one little issue with that is Houston is a big team.
Yes.
Oh no, that's another one.
And they're a true point guard away from being a real serious team.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Paul, baby. No, I'm kidding.
Yep.
That's another archaeological dig. He's
It's time.
Oh, he went to school with like Pontius Pilate. He's so old.
and then shipped him to Toronto.
Yep.
Yeah. You can't. I think that Toronto is going to waive him or something else. I can't imagine, but who knows?
I think the Mavericks, they're cleaned house and they're going all in on Cooper Flag. And I think that you can see that from the trades that they just made.
Yeah. I like Cooper Flag, and there's always say, oh, is he going to be the next Larry Bird? It's like, he's just a different player. And I don't, it's probably a deeper question, but like the whole idea of, like, do we need another white American-born superstar to make the league? Like, I don't even know. Like, there's so many good players. Does anybody even think about it? Maybe people people outside of basketball think about it. I like Cooper Flag. I'd like to see him in crunch time more, special, because like he can put up numbers, but I haven't seen him win a lot of games yet.
I agree, and I think he's got talent.
Yeah,
but I also find it interesting that he transferred out of his original class because he was like fifth or sixth in his own draft class because those dudes used to beat him up. So
like the class of 2026 is, I think somebody else said this. God, who was it? I can't remember. Somebody said that he would be. What do you got? A cigarello there?
Black and Mild, sir.
Oh, you're like OG. You're like, I mean, this is a serious program.
When you figure out what to do with him, let us know.
when Jay like first emailed me, I was like, "Oh, this is a bunch of kids, and they're all like privates in the army overseas, and
No.
like oh my God, this is like no, this is serious. This is I can do this podcast."
He said he wished he would have known.
Yeah, it's great. But anyway, what am I thinking of? Oh, so yeah, he said the whoever the commentator was, it wasn't Kendrick Perkins, it was somebody that we all know saying that there are 5 or 6 players who are better than Cooper Flagg in the 2026 draft. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, Caleb Wilson's great. Oh my gosh, the guy from KU, Darren Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's like just watching him a couple games. He's number one going away as long as he doesn't have that cramping problem all the time in the NBA. And DeBonsa, I want to know how DeBonsa got to BYU. By the way,
I want to
like okay, what are the Mormons paying nowadays? My best friend from high school was Mormon. Like, was he involved in that trade? Like, was he involved in that like that NIL money? Who's going to BYU? Like, oh my God. The Mormons didn't even let black people accept the priesthood in their church until 1982. The whole team's almost now black. They only got one dude that's white and that's good, and he's like looks like Jeff Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont. But it's so funny, like how this NIL money, if you've got it and you can give it to somebody, us 5, if we got somebody that had crazy deep pockets, we could start a college and get somebody there if we got them to pay the money.
Yeah. Anderson, DeBonsa, Cameron Boozer, Caleb Wilson.
Well,
I'm missing a couple others, but
here's the thing. That class is that class, this year's class, freshmen, are really good and really skilled. And you're finding, like right now, perfect example is Wangler from Illinois, who was not even heavily recruited, and now being talked about as able to go into the draft out of 1 year and been doing just great things in the Big Ten right now, and for Illinois.
I haven't even seen him yet. I feel bad, but I haven't even seen him play.
Oh my God, he's like 6'6", and right now he's playing 2 in the point because they have an injury at their point guard. But
everybody's saying Cooper Flagg's shooing Rookie of the Year. His teammate from Duke, Con Knuppel, I think Charlotte's got more wins than Dallas right now.
Yeah,
he's having a great season. But yeah, it'll be interesting. And then there'll be 4 European guys you never heard of picked, and then all of a sudden they'll be balling and you'll be going, "Oh my God, how did we miss this guy?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, could you imagine Luka Doncic in college? Oh my God. It'd be like magic, like he's got all kinds of up fakes, down fakes. Like, oh my goodness.
That'd be insane.
You know what? Man, I've been sleeping on Knuppel. He has been having
Who?
Con
Knuppel.
Oh, Con Knuppel, yeah.
I have been sleeping on him.
He's been shooting. He's a shooter.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. I think with a lot of this young talent that's coming into the league, and everybody's starting to position themselves in the NBA for those positions. They're getting that lottery to try to get some of these can't miss talents into on their teams. So you can see that with this whole trade cycle was that.
Right. Like if you're looking at, the evaluation of players keeps getting younger and younger. My son is 15. Despite my genes, he can play. And but we're in Panama here, and I'm like, I got to get him back to the States to play against some of the kids he was playing against in Maryland. But it's like, I was talking to a friend of mine, Lamar Butler. You guys probably remember his name. He was on the George Mason Final Four team years ago. And now I think he's an assistant coach at George Mason. And but at any rate, Lamar Butler knows DC basketball left and right. And I called him up like 5 years ago. I said, hey, I think my son's pretty good. He's like 10. He goes, this is crazy, but he's got to be identified now. He's got to get to the right AAUT. He's got to get to the right, like, what? And it's crazy. And like that's why I like the story, because of these late bloomers and guys that you never heard of, because like we're not like some kids, stay the best 10-year-old in the country forever. They never get, like I always said to my son, I go, I'm glad you weren't on one of those middleschoolelite.com, like top 20 kids, like, because unless you're like JJ Crawford, Jamal Crawford's son, you could be the best 12-year-old in America one year, and you drop to 5 and you're just depressed. You don't want to play basketball.
Well, but that's because they've reclassed 15 players.
Right.
You got 17-year-olds who are like freshmen in high school,
which is just
ridiculous.
Which is just insane. Which all the part about Cooper Flagg I can't believe is that you're putting up these kind of numbers and you just turned 19. I mean, turned 18 last December. It's just crazy. I'm blown away. I'm blown away how good these guys are and how young they are. LeBron now has a teammate that was born when he was a rookie or something. Like, that's just crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, his longevity, LeBron, you talking about LeBron, his longevity is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nobody can beat Father Time.
No.
No, but he's been trying.
He's trying.
I mean, it's to me that's like 40. I don't know. Is he 40 or 41?
I believe it's 41. Y'all getting ready to turn 41.
Is he?
Over Christmas. So
he's 40. I mean, to play at that level. That I was looking at this one day and I figured out that by the time he's done, he will have played twice as many years as both Magic and Bird, and almost 10 more years than Jordan. Think about that. Like, what is that? I mean, I know a lot, those guys back in the day, even Jordan's era, they didn't have 22 coaches and they didn't have 3 fitness people in the off season to work them out. Yeah. And, they did their own thing, or you got a trainer, but like, it's still, even with nutrition, everything, like, it's amazing to me that these guys can play, like someone like him can play as in fact, if we really think about it, you could make an argument that no player has been this good for this long in any team sport ever. I don't know of one. I mean, you could probably come up with one in hockey maybe, but I think it'd be hard. Because I don't think anybody's been this good this long, which leads us to the debate. Who do you guys think the GOAT is? Now, I know it's going to be everybody's going to say Jordan because of our age.
I'm not. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm not.
I have to look at when LeBron retires, the longevity and the numbers alone. Oh my God. And I think about it. Yeah, he didn't win 6 championships, but he won 4, and he won it with 3. He was the main dude on 3 different teams. I don't know. Nobody ever did that.
You know what? I saw someone asking Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And we all know how great of a scorer he is. Asking him, they're basically saying, hey, congratulations, becoming 6th leading scorer of all time.
Yeah.
And they're like, so he would have to, they told him that he would have to average 25 points per game for the next 8-9 years. I think, and that's just to pass Kareem. And he was like, I can't do it. Like, I can't do it. It's unbelievable the level that these guys have played at. and for how long they did. You see LeBron and Kareem and people like
that. Yeah. It's nuts. Willie Mays had the great line when he, at the end of his career, he was falling down in the outfield with the Mets, and he was like 42. And the writers liked him so much, like they were asking him, "Oh, Willie, was the sun in your eyes?" Was the sun? Everybody was trying to give him an excuse, and he just finally looks at them all and he goes, "Growing old is a helpless hurt." And I'm like, "Oh, I could relate with that."
right?
But I just think, I'm amazed by him. I'm amazed by a lot of players. I think I love the league. I love the NBA. It's sort of always been my wheelhouse. But man, it's such a 3-and-D league now. Like it's almost like people like Shaq have been legislated out of the game. Everybody's a stretch 5 that's 7 foot now, and I'm like going, like, would Wembanyama even like be playing back then? Like Shaq would have probably just picked him up and dunked him through the rim. Like or Chet Holmgren. Oh my God, he'd be in traction by now if he was playing during the years of Rick Mahorn and
Bill Lambier,
Charles. Oh my God, Charles Oakley. He would have abused him. It would have been child abuse in the post.
Yes.
But nowadays these guys are like, oh, Chet Holmgren. I can go right. I can go left. I can shoot a 3. It's like, no, we're gonna break you in half.
At 6'11", 150 pounds.
Yeah, and it's like, it's amazing to me, but it's also like the scoring is so easy. It's just it's hard to watch.
Who's your favorite player?
Well, I'm 61 now, so like I still like Steph. I like the old guys are like my favorite guy. I mean, LeBron. I want to see all the old dudes do well. I love watching Luka. I love watching Anthony Edwards. I love all these guys with their game. I love Halliburton just plays with a joy. I root for Jalen Brunson every day because I covered the Patrick Ewing Knicks. I knew all those guys. I mean, Oakley would come to my house in the off season. I mean, it was crazy. And so the fact that if you told me that this knucklehead on the roster, Rick Brunson, his son would be the best New York Knicks since Patrick Ewing, after I've seen Greg Anthony's son playing on the side, after I saw John Stark's son and Patrick Ewing Jr. playing on the side during workouts, I would say, like, you're out of your mind. Rick Brunson doesn't know what he's doing. And all of a sudden, oh my God, this kid. And so and how small is he? So I root for guys like that. He's probably one of my favorite players to watch. But as far as guys, I just want, like I still, in my head, I'm like, oh, Steph, I hope you get one more title. There's no way Steph's getting another title.
No.
Can't even keep Jimmy Butler healthy. So yeah.
Well, they kept Draymond Green, and they also picked up Porzingis. So,
yeah, Porzingis, he's another one like sort of like if he's healthy, he could give you something.
Yeah.
Like if AD's healthy, oh my God, he's a perfect big man. But when they're not, I mean, that's a sort of Steve Kerr's looking at the end right now. You could see. He's like, okay, can I get one more run out of this group? And Draymond, those guys, they're not going to play forever.
No.
I mean, Draymond, like I root for Draymond, even though he's like Rodman with more skills and he just gets under everybody's skin. I root for that guy. Like he's got to be one of the greatest role players in the history of the game.
He's a junkyard dog. He just get in there and he do all the dirty work nobody else wants.
The guy that you don't want to play against, but you'd pay to have him on your team.
Yep, I agree with that.
Yeah, so like that, you need that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Although he did come to the title. Remember the year he got suspended? Oh,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they talk about that, right? Because when he got suspended, the momentum went down.
Man, look, they're gonna lose anyway.
Yeah, you're probably right. Where are you guys all located right now?
So I am in the Frankfurt area, Frankfurt, Germany. Go ahead, Mason.
I'm right now on vacation with my family. I'm in southern Germany, on the border of literally
Austria.
on the Austria and Switzerland and Germany. I'm right here at the mountains.
I'm in Tampa, Florida.
Well, I mean, that's wrong. That's just wrong, Jeff.
I mean, I feel sorry for them. They can keep shoveling for all I care.
Yeah. Yeah. But the sausages there are so good. My mom was, my dad met her when he was stationed in Würzburg, Germany. And
I got to go there tonight.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Tell you, man, there's some good sausage in that town. You got to go there tonight for what?
I'm going to a concert.
Do you guys even work in the military now? My God.
Oh, I'm retired out of the military.
I figured, yeah, okay. I figured as much.
I'm the only one that's still in. However, I got 4 more months and I'm done.
What's your rank?
Sergeant first class.
Oh man. Thank all you guys for your service. Jeff, are you in the military?
Sir. Oh,
he was a soccer player.
Okay,
Thank you for your
I build stuff
service.
for y'all.
Thank you for your service on this podcast.
There you go. I build stuff for our men and women of the service. So.
That's awesome. But I like Germany. But I don't know if I could live there though. Can't speak the language.
It's tough.
Yeah.
But majority of people here do speak English.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
You meet a lot of them that are afraid to speak it. But they'll, if push came to shove, they will try at least.
Yeah, Jay just weighed in. Dirk Nowitzki is from Würzburg. Yeah. Yeah, I have a half brother he's a nurse. He works for a hospice thing in Würzburg, and he came to and I got him into Wizards game. We got a picture with Dallas, with Dirk, and he got a jersey and everything, and he's like, yeah, he's a huge Dirk fan.
So let me ask you this, because you just brought the Wizards, and it's something that Jay and I like to talk about a lot.
Yeah,
because the reason why we were laughing about the Anthony Davis trade when he's been so often injured, is because it's something like we were sitting there literally saying, "Oh, that's something the Wizards would. That's something," and then they trade for him. So the question is this: where do you think the direction of that franchise is going? Because I haven't seen it for probably 20 plus years.
Well, I don't know, 20 plus years. I mean, they were, excuse me, they were a game away from the Eastern Conference Finals. Remember that Game 7 against the Celtics? Mm-hmm. Must have been 2017, 2018. They were like in the second round. They'd won their first round series. They were in the second round against the Celtics, and it went 7 games. And it was the first time since the 70 or 80, the time that they won the title, went to the finals, that they were really close to going to the Eastern Conference Finals. And then they had a Game 7 at the Garden, and then, oh my God, it was depressing beyond depressing. Kelly Olynyk or whatever, he had this crazy game against them, and they end up like the Celtics went instead of, and I don't know, they probably wouldn't have went to the finals, but it was like this thing where the franchise was on the upswing. John Wall was healthy. Bradley Beal was healthy.
Bradley Beal was there. Mm-hmm.
They had a nice supporting cast. And then I think John Wall got hurt a year later and didn't play for a while. And then they started losing games, and it all went south again. The thing with the Wizards is every time they start to get something, they just go south so fast. I mean, even back in the day with Chris Webber and Juwan Howard and all those guys. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure like what's going on there. What I do think that you got to put some of it on the owner. You got to put some of it on Ted Leonsis. Sometimes they say he's more concerned about the Capitals than he is the Wizards. And but you have such a, I don't know. There's just such a opportunity there. Yeah, Jay's right. The Gilbert Arenas years were amazing. I mean, Gilbert Arenas years were cool because everybody was like, "Oh yeah, Michael Jordan was here," but it was all like 2 years of 38 and 45, and then Jordan gets fired, and oh, he's talking about the locker room incident with the Wizards. I was in deep on that because I'll tell you guys this. I ain't gonna tell anybody else. Well, I'm gonna put the podcast out on my feed so everybody will know. Like Gilbert Arenas gave me some unbelievable stuff off the record. And I found out later, and I never confirmed this with Karan, but I think it's true. It's like, the whole thing with the pick a gun, pick one, and Gilbert Arenas brings his guns into the locker room. And Javaris Crittenden brings his gun, but it's loaded.
I'm about to say, hey, Javaris was the wrong one for Gil to be playing those games with.
Yes, he was hard to begin with, and then he went to prison for shooting someone.
So,
with the whole thing's sad in a way. Like Gilbert's messing with the guy who is just trying to hang on in the NBA. He hurts himself. Javaris Crittenden, becomes more of a gangster once he doesn't get an NBA gig after that. The whole thing was sad, but literally, like when they brought in authorities and everybody came in, apparently Caron Butler, didn't want like Javaris Crittenden to lose his career, and so he like hit the gun in the laundry basket, and the laundry guy took it out. It was like a whole thing. And I capped someone that day too. Nobody even writes about this, but I did shoot another writer, and he's dead. No, I'm kidding. I'm just trying to give you guys some extra.
I'm looking at the roster when Weber was there, and they had talent. Weber, Juwan Howard, Ben Wallace, Todd Shamgod, Darvin Ham, Calbert Chaney, Liddell Eccles. They had a roster, boy.
Yeah, no, you're right. But what did they say? What did John Thompson say once when one of his players did something stupid? He said, "Common sense ain't so fucking common."
Right about that.
Definitely, it's definitely something that's earned.
Yeah. Like it's sad. It's sad. They did. You just came on here. You just brought me on here so you could mourn about the Wizards' past, huh?
I didn't. I just know that since you're from, or that you covered in the area, that you would understand what Jay and I talk about with it. That's a Wizards thing to do.
Yeah, no. Oh no, we only moved to Panama as my wife got a job down here with the USDA. I was in the DC area for 20 years, and I kind of knew the history before then because I was covering the NBA at the New York Times, and it was like it was heartbreaking in a way, like because there's fans. You talk about long-suffering fans, like Bills football fans, they won a Super Bowl. Like Wizards fans just want to go back to the finals one day. They haven't been to the finals since 1980 or something. Yeah, or 79. Yeah, it's just. So yeah, it's a sad thing in a way, but
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, sir. During the time when you was in the DC area, and I'm assuming you had the opportunity to cover Georgetown when Allen Iverson was there. What was your thoughts on it? Because Allen Iverson has always been one of my favorite players.
Yeah. So I wasn't there when Iverson was at Georgetown, but I covered him a lot, when the Sixers were good. And, he was just a player that was so unbelievable. you talk about like LeBron's longevity and how amazing that was. It was amazing to see a guy that was that small and slight just bounce off mounds of muscle and get to the rim and score. Like, to me, Allen Iverson was like, you talk about the all heart team. He was that guy. And, you know, and he got in his own way a lot early on. But it's funny, like, we're so, you know, what do you say? As a media member, as people who, like, from the outside, we're so fickle. And, you know, like, we always like players based on how they do for our teams, right? So when Allen Iverson was, you know, the Sixers weren't anything, and it was all about him and Larry Brown fighting. It was like, he's a knucklehead. When's he going to get his stuff? When's he going to get rid of his Hampton Roads boys? When's he, you know, like, why is he bringing all these kids around? But the moment, like, the Sixers become this team that goes to the finals, he's this story of heart and redemption and AI, man, he got it. No, he was the same guy. They just got better. It's like we like guys based on whether they win for our teams, and it's like, it's not reality in some ways. He was always the same guy, you know, and you wanted him to, like, you wanted him to become something better, and he did eventually, you know, but you know, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. It's funny how many players in the NBA would say he is their favorite player because they all grew up watching him. I mean, they're like you, Chris. They grew up watching him, and he brought back so much memories and of them. He didn't have to win a title for them to be almost enamored by him, you know?
Yeah, I was really covering. I really watched the Georgetown years, and to see him and Ray Allen go at it was like watching one of the best basketball games you can ever see. Those two players going back and forth, playing literally two different positions.
Yeah,
you know, it was just unfair for Allen Iverson because Connecticut had all that talent on that team, and he was a one-man game trying to put up 40 and 50 to win.
but didn't he have maybe there was Boubacar Al on that? I guess he wasn't really a great player, but so Michael Sweetney came after Iverson, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you're right. AI, you know, Allen didn't have a lot of. I'll send you. I'll send Jay or whatever. I'll send him a column I wrote on Allen Iverson when I covered his Hall of Fame induction, because it was kind of cool. He went in. You know, I wrote Shaquille O'Neal's autobiography like 20 years ago, and Shaq and I go back, and Shaquille O'Neal, Yao Ming, and Allen Iverson were inducted in the same class, and it was cool. You know, you got the two monsters, and you got Allen and Allen Iverson. Like, while everybody had great speeches that night, Allen Iverson's brought the house down. I mean, like, he just, you know, he poured it all out, and I wrote about it, and for the undefeated, well, for ESPN Sports Racing Culture site, the Anscape now, but it was the Undefeated, and it was cool. It was nice being there that night. It was fun. So.
Right. Well, sir, we want to thank you for tuning in, giving us some great laughter,
All right,
teaching us some real media etiquette, making us better.
Hey, what? So it's Chris, Jeff, Jay, and
Mason.
Okay, good.
Dave.
Make sure
David Mason, yeah.
I got your names right and everything. So when I'm on here the next time.
Absolutely.
Is there going to be a next time?
Yeah.
Hey, it's up to you.
All right. Because this,
You know, we got March Madness right around the corner.
There you go.
You know, NBA playoffs too.
I'm in. Let's get a Super Bowl prediction real quick.
Seahawks.
Oh.
We like Mason.
This ain't hard. Seahawks.
Chris can't say it. So
I'm a Rams fan. I would never say it.
Oh, that's
we're going to expose it later, but yes, I'll go ahead and give my pick just for you, Mike. Seattle.
Yeah. Chris, it looks like you can't say it.
But we know what
I think it's
we
going
know
to be
what
by
it is.
14 or more.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a nasty defense.
Yes.
All right, guys.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Hey, sir. Thank you for being on the
All
show.
right. Hey, have a great Saturday.
You as
You
well.
too, sir.
All right.
Oh, shoot. Ooh. And so now we on to our next. We're going to be just rolling right on along. Our next guest, Super Bowl winning MVP of the Super Bowl, former. See, I have to do it this way because I remember him playing there. Former Rams quarterback.
Oh.
You know who the
out of
Rams fan
St.
is.
Louis,
Yeah, we got the Rams fan out of the way.
There you go.
yeah.
Love my time in St. Louis, by the way. I really enjoyed it there.
We got Mr. Mark Rippon on our show today. Go give him a nice round of applause.
Gentlemen, how are you? Who we got on here today?
So I'm Chris.
I know you, Chris. Yep.
I'm Mason.
I'm Jeff.
And our other co-host is refereeing a flag football tournament.
Which one's Jeff?
One in the red.
Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Good, sir. How are you?
Good, thank you. And who else do we got?
Mason. Right in the white
Who's
shirt.
that?
Right here in the white shirt.
Mute? Is he on mute?
No, Mason.
I
Can
can't
you
hear
hear
him.
him?
No,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can. Who just said that?
Jeff did. I did. Can you hear me?
Oh, Jeff. Okay, Jeff didn't. I couldn't hear Jeff's name. Jeff's the top right, right?
Yep.
Gotcha. All right, guys.
So
All right.
How do I get individual ones here? This is kind of crazy on this. Am I on? I'm okay. There we go.
Yeah, you're good,
Am
sir.
I bigger? What happened there?
You just
Oh, you
changing
good,
the
sir.
views.
just changing your views.
Okay, so you guys got me, and I got like small windows here. I got my cell phone. That's the only communication I have.
I got it.
That's
Yep.
how old I am, you know.
No, you're good, sir.
All right, let's do it. We ready? Or,
Yes, sir.
have we been going?
Hey, yeah, we're live. Yeah, absolutely, sir. We're not missing a beat.
We'll
All
keep
right.
the show rolling.
Perfect. Just tell
So-
me when we're ready, and let's do it.
All right. Chris, you want to start off?
No, you because I
I got
am
it.
not ready.
I got it.
Okay, go ahead, Jeff.
So, because since I'm the guy, our other co-host who's not here, we were both from Northern Virginia. So we spent a lot of time, 30 plus years in the area. I'm actually a Cowboys fan. So you were someone who I respected, but you frustrated me because you played on one heck of a team. So I guess your first season starting was right after the Super Bowl win, like in '88, right?
My first year of playing, yes. I was on I got there in 86. So 86, 87, my first 2 years, I was mentored by the great Doug Williams. Had an opportunity to kind of watch and learn. And actually, when in all honesty, when I first was on the field level watching the game and learning from, Doug's play and all the things that were going on, I thought the game was too fast. And I thought there was no chance I could play this game. And that's kind of the MO that most guys have, and I was in an era though that I was able to at least learn and watch, as did Tom Brady with Drew Bledsoe and some of the other guys that had an opportunity to see what the guy in front of them was doing. When their time came, they made the most of it. So I was blessed with that aspect and had a great guy to be around. And still to this day, Doug and I are very close, and Doug still has a lot to do with the organization. And I think that part in particular was instrumental. And then to actually be in that Super Bowl and on that team in '87, '88, where he went to played the Denver Broncos in San Diego, to kind of get an understanding of what Super Bowl weekend is like and what these guys are going through this week. It was kind of unique because we had the week prior to it, after the NFC Championship game, a chance to get all your tickets and all your things in order that you needed to prior to coming to San Diego and getting prepared and ready to play the Broncos. So all that stuff needed to be handled and taken care of. And Joe Gibbs made sure that once we arrived in San Diego for that '88 Super Bowl win and in '92 Super Bowl win, Minneapolis, that we had all our the things that the essentials, bring your family there, get your tickets, get their, lodging, get everything all settled so that when we arrive, we're, lunch buckets in hand, let's go to work.
So you mentioned Doug Williams. So obviously, he was huge, definitely ingratiated himself to the whole DMV area. First Black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. And because of the love that DC area had for him and the respect that you coming in behind, is that difficult for you to kind of win over the fans and also deal with the expectations after the Super Bowl that they won?
Well, I think I saw the conflict that Jay Schrader and Doug had, coming through. Jay thought it was his job. He got injured. Doug came in, took the leadership role, took us to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl. They kind of bickered, and more so Jay than anything else. Doug handled like a professional. And so I think, when you look at that and you kind of get an idea that what good is it going to be to have friction within the organization. I knew Doug was going to be the guy. If he didn't play well or if he was injured, I was ready to go. And that's how you prepared as a backup. And that's how I prepared as a backup, knowing that, one, I'm in Joe Gibbs' system. Two, I had a great mentor in Doug and watching him play and what he did and an idea of what this offense was built around. And both him and I are very similar. We're not the scrambling type quarterbacks. A pocket is a pocket. We knew where the pocket was, and we had the guys in front of us, the Hogs. You're only as good as the guys up front. We had the best in the business. So
no lie about that.
Yeah. So we're very blessed to be a part of that and to be a part of, basically 4 world championships we played in a 10-year period, and to be at the epicenter, right in the middle of it and watch that. I just kind of saw, the friction that Doug and Jay had, and I just knew that that wasn't going to happen. Doug and I had such a great relationship, and I respected him as a player. If my time came, it was because he was injured or things weren't going right, and I had to go in there and play. So it wasn't like I'm telling everyone I need to play. It's my job. No, I was just ready and prepared. So when my time did come, I spent the most time watching and learning, and then took advantage of it when my opportunity came.
So you and Doug had a great relationship, right? So Absolutely. Then I guess my question is, while you were there, did you have conversations with Joe Theismann and Sonny Jurgensen and Billy Kilmer on what it meant to be the quarterback of Washington Redskins?
Well, first and foremost, we mourned the death of Sonny Jurgensen yesterday, and probably arguably one of the most talented individual that put on the burgundy and gold, and more so than that, just a great man and a great human being and a great part of that DMV. And he did broadcasting afterwards, and obviously I would be an idiot not to try to pick Sonny's brain and Joe's brain and Billy's brain and find out what the essentials were. And they just said, you just got to be yourself. You got to. That was their advice: is to be yourself. And they were all great to me. They all. It was right after Joe's era, so I mean, unfortunately, with Joe, the way his career ended was tragic, and so it's like all these guys. It's a fraternity, and they were there to offer their support, pat on the back. I mean, Sonny Jurgensen was the kindest guy ever. Even if I played bad, he'd have an interview afterwards. He asked me about things, and he was fair. I would say he was tough too, but he was fair, and he wasn't gonna, rip me for things that happened, because he knows. And and being a quarterback himself, he knows what we're doing, what we're feeling, and we're hurting. We're not we didn't play to the level we should. So, but he was very fair, very honest, very skilled, very talented guy, and someone that just prayers to Margot and Gunner and his family and all the Redskin faithful that saw that this was probably one of our revered sons, that came to Washington, D.C. and built a legacy there. And we're all blessed to be a part of the legacy that he lived.
Mace, you got something?
Well, I was going to say, so Jaden Daniels playing for Washington right now. Do you
I can't hear.
Can you hear me?
He can't hear you. All right, so I'll keep going. So
Yeah,
You can maybe ask his question, but I can't.
That's what I was going to say. I'll say it. So,
okay.
And I don't know his question 1,000%, but I think I know where he was going. So
yeah.
If you look at the quarterback position when you play, and then you transpose that with Jaden Daniels now with Washington, what are your thoughts about the evolution of the quarterback and what's necessary for a quarterback in today's NFL in order to be successful?
Well, I think it still comes to an extreme skill set that the athlete today has a little bit more than we did. The escapability is a big part of the NFL. Zone blitzes and all those things, the crazy masterminds and defense that they're doing now. You have to be able to think on your feet and be able to use your feet in order to get some escapability and make some plays. And obviously, Jaden was so good. RG3 was so good at it. But, they're also, we got to understand that these guys are not big fellas like Doug and I, so when they're getting outside the pocket, they got to know how to slide and get down. And so painful to see RG3 have such a great start to his career and have it end the way he did, and that has a lot to do sometimes with getting out of the pocket and exposing yourself. So you got to be very good with that. And I think Jaden does a pretty good job all in all when it comes to getting outside, knowing what he has and getting down, doing that baseball slide and things of that nature. But his skill sets are great. He can throw from all different angles. He's great in the pocket. He's good outside the pocket. He's good escapability, and we just need to keep him healthy. The sky's the limit for him. He hasn't even come close to, I think, the threshold that we all know he can and will do. And I think now that he's got some of the tools around him that he has, we got to make sure that as an offensive coordinator, whoever comes in there and takes the reign here has a sensibility of, we need to keep that guy healthy and we need to have that guy healthy. And if we do, I think good things will happen in Washington.
So you mentioned defenses. Thinking back on your career, but with Washington, what were some of the hardest defenses? Because I can imagine, I think you were there with the LT.
Well, yeah, I would have.
And
to
Reggie White, the Eagles,
56, the greatest football player, arguably the greatest football player ever played the game. So I think that
Reggie White with the Eagles.
Pardon me.
Reggie White with the Eagles.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't done yet.
Okay.
I'm just. You can't just leave 56 there and say nothing more about him. I mean,
when you call him 56, we all know who you're talking about.
Well, I just want to let you know, we never, after what happened with Joe and that heartbreaking injury that he had at RFK, Joe Gibbs made a commitment. I think at that point in time, we are never going to leave LT one-on-one with anyone, even though Jim Lachey was probably our best shutdown left tackle. And if there was an open side to Jim Lachey's side, and Ernest Biner had a free release to get out in the backfield in his route, he did not have a free release when he played against the Giants. If LT was on that side, there was a chip and then get into your route. And if he's on the tight end side, the tight end and the right tackle, or if he's on the left side, the tight end and the left tackle would double team Lawrence if he was on that side, just because that was how great a football player he was. Still, with that happening, he was still able to make plays, and he was that good. And then you look at 92. 92 lined up inside, outside. He's lined up sometimes outside the tight end in that 50 or whatever Buddy Ryan's defense was. So you never knew where Reggie White was. But we knew when he was inside, we had an opportunity. There were some things we could do on the outside. When he's outside, there's some things we could do on the inside. So he was. There were a lot of check with me's and audibles that we did that pertained to where Reggie White was, and you had to know where 92 was on the football field. And you got to understand that Buddy Ryan's defense and that front four that they had, with Jerome Brown and Golick and Reggie, they were and Clyde Simmons. They were probably four of the best down linemen in football at that time, and they had Seth Joyner, and they had a great secondary, and Hopkins and Allen and all the guys that played there, and Andre Dirty Waters, played in that secondary. So, we just knew that playing against Philadelphia, you were going to get beat up a little bit, but you also know that you're going to get some home runs because they like to empty the secondary and bring what they call zero blitz,
cover zero,
and have no safeties in the middle of the field. And when you blocked it up like we did, we had some max protection stuff. We still knew that there was one guy coming free. You just had to get the ball out and release before that guy got there. But normally we had the three of the best, receivers in football at the time, the posse, Art Monk, Ricky Sanders, and Gary Clark, one-on-one with no one in the center of the field. So we had myriad of home runs against Philadelphia. And we had some plays that we lost 10 yards, got sacks and fumbles and stuff that happened just because that's the way they played. They weren't going to change. And you also got to know there was a defense, too, that played in the NFC during that time that had four linebackers with New Orleans Saints, four linebackers that made the Pro Bowl that one year. I think the year that we went to Super Bowl, or the year before that. That was Vaughn Johnson, Sam Mills, Ricky Jackson, and Pat Swilling. So they had four that made the Pro Bowl. So when you had to go into New Orleans and play in New Orleans in that dome against those guys, you also knew you're going to get banged around a little bit. But we were good. We knew our hot reads. We knew what we had to do offensively. We had to knew what we had to do running the football and be effective running the ball, because if we did, we had a good chance throwing the ball too.
So mentioned. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
So I have a two-part question.
Sure.
Your nephew played for the Rams. So
yep. Chris, you gotta love those Rams, huh? What happened? What happened last week? What the heck happened?
A bad coaching call cost us that game.
Yeah, well, that happens a few times.
You take a chance. That's what it is. You got a chance to do it. Your nephew played quarterback. So give you a little background. I coach over here in the German Football League as an offense coordinator, and I have a bunch of young quarterbacks. So my question to you is, how much influence did you have on your nephew at playing quarterback, and what advice could you give me to teach young quarterbacks?
Well, I think being a quarterback is kind of being like being a golfer. You have to have a good gait. You have to have a good start, and an understanding that if you get into bad habits, and golf is the same thing, if you get into bad habits with taking the club back and things are offline, or you're opening your hips too much, or your drop is not as tight and compressed as you want it to be, you can get into some bad habits as a quarterback. And if you start with bad habits, the tendency is you're going to continue those things. So I look at, there wasn't a lot because Brett knew the game. He's very good cerebrally. I love the X's and O's of the game just as much as he does. And he was very good at it and still is very good at it. He's going to be, when his day is comes, he's going to be a great offense coordinator somewhere, quarterback coach somewhere. But the one thing that I just wanted to make sure, when he was in high school, his dad, my brother Tim, was his offensive coordinator. They had great concepts and routes and things that they did. My brother Tim was a professional baseball player, so football wasn't his. Oh, he's a good football player, but he's a linebacker, so his mentality was a little bit different than a quarterback. So but he had great concepts. He understood the game, and Brett did the same thing. But I want to make sure that I just want to look at his gait. What does his drops look like? Is he coming straight back? Is he opening up to the target? Is he throwing with his shoulders facing the target? Those types of things. The belly button coming forward, just like golf, in the golf swing. You want to make sure that those types of things are imperative. And every young kid, that's what you want to videotape. You want to videotape their drops. You want to videotape their opening their hips and throwing to their left. You want to videotape them opening their hips and throwing to the right, because you don't have to open your hips that much throwing to the right. You want to see how they throw moving to the right. You want to see how they throw moving to the left. Are they, when they move to their left, are they opening their hips up and they're getting their shoulders downfield? Same way going to the right. Tendency is when you go to the right to throw, you want to throw and your shoulders are going with the way you're running. So you're not squaring your shoulders up and throwing to the target down the field. So there's a lot of things I think you can do is just filming quarterbacks, not necessarily, do they throw a spiral? Who gives a crap about a spiral? Get the ball to them. That's the most important thing, I think spirals are overrated. I threw a great spiral in the Super Bowl, though, to close the deal against the Bills. But I just want to let everyone know that the most important thing is the gait of a quarterback and his ability to have a good base in order to make sure that when he does get to the X's and O's stuff, he's in a better place.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
My next question, I'm trying to play catch up, doing a little run around.
Sure.
The last hurdle that your team had to go through was Barry Sanders and the Detroit Lions. We all know how special Barry Sanders was as a player. How nerve wracking was it to play against him, to watch him on the field?
Well, it's hard. First and foremost, you're watching Barry Sanders because you're saying, what is he going to do next? Oh my gosh, did he just do that? Oh my goodness. Oh wow. The wow factor is amazing. And the wow factor is more amazing when he's on artificial turf than he is on grass. The one thing that I don't even say neutralizes Barry Sanders, but your ability to cut and make do the things, contort his body the way he did it on turf, to do it on grass wasn't as easy as it is on turf. So that, I think, neutralized Barry Sanders. When you going in, if we could stop the run and force Kramer to throw the ball, that we had some great, Richie Pettibone, our defense, and our front four. Again, we're as good as your front four on offense. You're as good as your front four on defense. And our guys were pretty special, whether it be Charles Mann, Timmy Johnson,
Dexter Manley.
Dexter wasn't there that Super Bowl year. Dexter was there before, and I got a chance to watch Dexter play in the Super Bowl against the Broncos. And special football player and just an amazing guy. And Dex, I have to let you know, Dex is doing great. He's
awesome.
He is just a wonderful human being. It's good to see him when I go back to alumni stuff and see the great things that he's doing, in his life and the people around him. He surrounds himself with the great people around him. But more importantly, he's just always been. He was my locker guy for my first 4 years in the league, and I didn't know if I was nervous. I didn't want to say anything to him because he scared me at times. But as the years went on, him and I became pretty close locker buddies. And he actually told me one day, Rip, I like you. I go, that's good, Dex. I like you too. And you're a heck of a football player. And but we had Jason Buck, Timmy Johnson, I think Charles Mann, we had Freddie Stokes, who's our front four, and they're pretty good. And we had Govea, Andre Collins, and Wilbur Marshall as our linebacking core, and of course our secondary with Darrell and Martin Mayhew, and we just had a strong football team. And Richie Pettibone and what he did defensively to nullify, take away, hug the line of scrimmage and take Barry Sanders out of the football game, and then put it in Eric Kramer's hand, and Eric had a great year, don't get me wrong, but we had a great game plan against him defensively, and then we beat them in the preseason, or not the preseason, beat them the regular season pretty handily at home, and then they came back and we beat them pretty handily in the NFC Championship game. But that was a good football team. Don't take nothing away from them, but what we did in the playoffs to beat the Falcons and Lions, and then what we did to Buffalo was a lot of people have considered that 91-92 team the greatest, based on all the analytics that they do, the greatest football or Super Bowl winning football team in the history of the NFL.
So a little bit earlier, you mentioned posse. So Art Monk, Ricky Sanders, Gary Clark. How was that? Like, how was that as a quarterback to make sure? I mean, because any given day, again, I'm speaking from a Cowboys fan. Any given day, one of them could be the guy to beat you? How did you make sure that you kept them all in play, all focused? Hey, you may not get the ball, but I'm setting something up for you later on in the game. How did you go about that?
Well, you don't ever say our offense dictates where the ball goes. So you don't come out and say, we're going to throw to Gary 10, 15, 16 times. We're going to go to Art 7, 8, 10 times. We're going to go to Ricky 7, 8, 9, times. Our offense never said that. What dictated where we went to was the defense that went against us. If they took Art away, we had an opportunity in the middle of the field to work Ricky. If they took Ricky the middle of the field away, we had a chance to work Gary on the backside. So there was always a big play, and each one of those guys, exemplified big plays. But the one thing that made those guys, and they'll admit the same thing, is being able to run the football. Because now you're stacking the line of scrimmage to stop the run. You're one-on-one against three of the best receivers in football, and I'll take our bets on those guys any day of the year, one-on-one against even the best Eric Allens and the guys of that nature, because these guys were special, and we knew when we counted on them to win a route, to win a one-on-one route, you went to them, they were going to win the one-on-one route 99 out of 100 times. They were that good, and they were that special. And I was blessed to be able to play with a group like that. And I have to say about your Dallas Cowboys team, I'll just have to say this right out the get-go. We knew that 91-92 season that they were going to be special. They're going to be special for years to come. They came off an 0-16 like two years before that, or some crazy record. I don't know if they went 0-16, but they were a struggling franchise. And the year after that, they got better. The year we went 11-0 to start the year off, we were kind of full of ourselves, like we're better than anyone else. We got Dallas coming in here. Dallas beat us by 2 points or 3 points. I think we had a chance. I hit Ricky in the seam. He got tackled like the 2-yard line before we went in. The clock expired, so we lost that game. But it also gave us an opportunity to reset. We aren't that good. We just can't come out here on our laurels and win on our laurels. That's a good football team, and they're going to be a good football team, and they proved to be a good football team. Your Cowboys did for the next couple of years after that. So, it was a game like that that kind of reset our focus to like, hey, we got to go in, we got to get ourselves back on track. We're 11-1. I think we won the next 3 games. We were 14-1 going into the Eagles game. We were up at halftime against the Eagles, and the only time I think I've ever seen Joe pull his starters, and I think that had to do maybe with the body bag game we had in 1990 that he said, we don't need to get anyone hurt here, and so so we're up 7, and then we end up losing at 3. So we lost 2 games by 6 points in that 91-92 season, and then was like plus 50 in the playoffs to win the Super Bowl. So that's how good our team was. That's how proud I am of these guys, and that's why I wear this ring. I wear this ring because, one, I'm proud of I had to play at a high level. That's obviously one of the things quarterbacks have to do. But more importantly, I wear this ring because I respect and honor and love the fact that was one great football team with a bunch of great men that went out there each and every week with one goal in mind, and that's to win the Lombardi Trophy.
No lies there. No lies. With being a diehard Cowboys fan, the respect that I have for those Washington teams.
It was mutual. Trust me. It was mutual.
So, to me, was nothing like those. For me, for the NFL, that was the rivalry that I grew up to watch. When I was a young kid, if Washington beat Dallas, I'm going crying in my room because the rest of my family were Washington fans.
Yeah. Were you that soft?
Oh, about 4 or 5 years old. Yep, I sure was.
Well, I guess 4 or 5 years old. I'll give it to you there.
Yeah, I named my oldest son's middle name is Anthony because nice. Tony Dorsett, my favorite player of all time.
One of the greats, obviously one of the greats. Yep.
Hey Jeff, can you check the private chat real quick?
Yep. Okay, so in your career, where did you enjoy playing the most?
Well, Washington, I had a great, I didn't want to leave Washington. They drafted Heath Schuler, and and Heath Schuler came in and was going to be the next, I mean, I had an injury riddled season the year before. I tried to come back, and we ended up going, I don't know, we went like 5-11 or something like that. But I tried to come back from an injury. I should have stayed out the whole year. But they drafted Heath Schuler the following year, and I had 1 year on my contract. They didn't even honor my contract. Charlie Casserly, I'm still kind of bitter about that. They brought Norv Turner in. I would have been fine if they had honored my contract. I would have stayed there and been a stable and maybe the mentor for Heath Schuler that he possibly needed. And obviously he looked like he needed from the way he played the following years afterwards. So anyways, Washington was the only place that even though I went to Cleveland the following year and had an amazing coaching staff, Bill Belichick, Nick Saban, Kirk Ferentz was our pretty good coaching staff there. I went to St. Louis for 2 years. I love being with the Rams. My kids love being in St. Louis and St. Albans there in age where we were in grade school. I mean, at a great school there and enjoyed it. My son, unfortunately, passed away while we were in St. Louis from a brain tumor. And we started the Ripon Foundation after that. But so it has a lot of memories, good and, of course, not so good, but good in a way because Andrew, we didn't have to suffer and we, honor him each and every day and try to make the quality of care for any kid going through cancer treatment as good as possible. So that was awesome. Played a year in Philadelphia and then finished my last year in 2001. Bill Polian, speaking of former Bills, was the GM for the Indianapolis Colts. And he called me and asked me because I took 3 years off from when my son passed away in 98. Took 3 years off and came back in 2001. He asked me if I was in any kind of shape. I said, well, I'm A shape. I don't know what kind of shape that is. He said, well, come on out here. We want to work you out. And, we're not happy with our backup for Peyton. And it turned out great. I had my arm was live. I'd been throwing, for summers just out with the kids and such in high school there. But I hadn't thrown. And so I went through for them for practice and they ended up signing me on the spot. And my arm was alive and I was still in pretty good shape. So I ended up being a backup to Peyton Manning for a year there in Indianapolis, and I like to say I taught him everything I know. And that was you can take that. But the one nice thing I loved about it is I told Peyton, I'm not here to play, so I'm not here to challenge you for the position. I just want to talk X's and O's, and he was so good. He was maybe the mastermind of the cerebral football. He just really, to the core, worked it so hard, watching film. And I love watching film. And I just love just being, with him and in the room with him. So, those places were just stops, but the Washington was that's my family. That's my home. It's a good question because I loved being in those areas that I played for and always tried to play in my best and the hardest. But Washington was where my, if I laid to rest today, that would be where I want to be.
So Jay wrote in, what was it like hearing the band play Hail to the Redskins for your first touchdown pass at old RFK?
Well, it was first one. RFK was great. My first start was in St. Louis, so I had 3 touchdown passes. I fumbled on the last drive coming down, scrambling of all things. I actually scrambled for about 11 yards and got tackled from behind. The ball came loose and we lost by 3. But you heard it so many times, in my previous years of playing that when the first time I had to go, wow, this is cool. This is what it's all about. And I also noticed, I think I mentioned preface to you early on that when I was in my coaching gear, writing plays down on a playbook, my first couple of years, that watching the game from field level, I go, there's no way I can do this. There's no possible way. And when my opportunity came, when we played the Cardinals in Arizona, it was, I'm going to get this done or I'm never going to play again. And I got out there and someone reminded me, said, hey, you got to be able to slow the game down, because what happens is you're amped up. You're so excited. All you want to do is get back on that 5th step or 7th step and throw the ball. But your receivers might not be coming out. So you got to be able to slow the game down. And that's what the good ones tell you. And that's what I tell young kids. Be able to slow the game down. If you're able to slow the game down, I think you're throwing on timing. Everything works out you have a better opportunity, a better chance to be successful when you're able to do so.
Old adage that I used to always hear from: slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
Absolutely.
All right, Chris, you got anything? Maybe
Chris.
they hear me.
Their mic's all going. I cannot hear anyone other
Well,
than
you know what? It's just you and I.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Somebody needed me.
I'm like,
Somebody
hey,
needed me.
I hear you, Chris.
me and Mr. Ripper can continue having good conversation because this is memories for me.
Who do you think wins tomorrow?
Oh, well, I grew up in the Pacific Northwest. I was born. I'm the only Canadian-born Super Bowl MVP in the history of the world. So I was born in Canada. I moved down to Pacific Northwest, Spokane, Washington, when I was a kid, about 6 years old, and so I lived in the Spokane, Washington area, which is on the other side of the state from Seattle. I always grew up kind of being a Jim Zorn and Sherman Smith and Dan Dornick and Dave Craig. Watched them all play, and got an opportunity to play against Steve Largent. We beat the legend, beat the living tar out of him in the Kingdome, the last day game the Kingdome had there. So my brothers and family were all over there for that. I had a great game against the Seahawks, and kind of that they put the Kingdome to rest. I'd like to say we put the Kingdome to rest. The Redskins did, but ultimately I still have that a little bit of Seahawk blood in me, and the Patriots have always been competitive, and they're such a great organization, ownership wise, all the way down to their coach. Mike Vrabel was a great football player himself, and what an amazing job he's done. Drake May and his completion percentage, and then being able to run the football, their defenses. Ultimately, this comes down to the defenses. Two best defenses in football are playing against each other. So I look for a defensive-minded game. Sam Darnold is Brett got a chance to be with Sam Darnold with the Vikings last year, and he said a year or 2 years ago, and said he's amazing watching him play and develop as a player, and really the confidence that he's had, and then taking the bull by the horn there in Seattle and do the great things he's doing there. So it'll be how the quarterbacks play, but more importantly, I think a defensive-minded game. I'm going to say Seahawks 21-17.
Okay, it's got to be in close. Okay,
yeah,
close and a little lower score.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be a lower score. I think, I'm just being honest, I think the Seahawks is going to kind of run away with it.
Oh, interesting. It's because they beat your Rams. Is that right? You want a little justification for the way they beat your Rams? You want to say, okay, they whooped my Rams, so that means they got to be able to whoop the Patriots. Then we'll show you how close we were as a Ram.
other than the Dallas Cowboys.
Wait. This ain't got nothing to do with the Cowboys. Ain't got nothing to do with the Cowboys.
You cut me off. You cut me off, sir.
You do not like the Patriots, do you, Chris?
Nope. They are number 2 on my hate list.
Yeah, I got you. Is Jeff's mic on, or what's he got going on there?
Who, me?
No. The other guy.
Yeah, my mic's on.
I'm Jeff. That's
I know, not Jeff. I'm Chris. I know Jeff and Chris. The guy down the bottom right.
Mason.
That's Mason.
Mason, is your mic on? I can't hear you.
Yeah, my mic's on. I don't know
his mic's on. He just doesn't know why. He doesn't know what's going on. So
yeah, it's not coming through on my end. I can see him talking, so I was ready to. Sorry, Jeff. I meant Mason. Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah,
you're good.
So I want to thank you, sir, for coming on and talking to us about it. You brought up the Ripon Foundation that you started in St. Louis. Can you let our guests out there know where they can go to look into the Ripon Foundation?
Sure. First, I want to preface, we started the Ripon Foundation after we left St. Louis in Spokane. And then since then, we've merged, the Ripon Foundation merged with the Coaches versus Cancer. Mark Fee was running the Coaches versus Cancer in Spokane, but he put a lot of work into it. Not a lot of the money was staying locally in the area. And he's big on doing things locally in the Spokane area. Obviously, one of the great basketball coaches in the history of the game of college basketball. So he formed a group called the Community Cancer Fund. And being a small community like we are, the Ripon Foundation merged with Coaches versus Cancer to form the Community Cancer Fund. And we're doing events. And there's the Andrew Ripon School now in the Sacred Heart Hospital, Children's Hospital, that any child that is in there for care for a long period of time that gets behind in their studies, there's a school in the hospital there that named after Andrew that makes sure these kids stay up with their studies so they can graduate with their peers, even though they're going through the worst of worst things possible. So it's a great thing, and I appreciate all the work that the Community Cancer Fund does. Mark Few is just a good friend, and they had a tough loss the other night, 87-80 to Portland, and gosh knows how that happened. Portland hasn't beat them since 2014. But anyway, so that's the Community Cancer Fund. If you want to get online, look at communitycancerfund.org and see the great things we're doing. We got the showcase coming up this year in the Pacific Northwest, and we raised about $5 million. We get Marcus Allen comes out and play in it. Eric Dickerson comes out and plays. Richard Dent has played in it. Baseball players. Blair O'Neill from the Golf Channel. So we get a lot of myriad of people to come in to help support our cause there, play a little golf, and more importantly, raise some great money. I think we raised about $5 million of that, net about $3 million. So it's a good cause and a lot of fun. So I appreciate it. And I want to say thank to all our people overseas, especially our servicemen and women. I want to thank them. And as they're watching the Super Bowl and wherever they're at, just we just can't tell you how much we appreciate you and honor you for the sacrifices that you have and have done in order for us to be able to do what we do. So thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it. And let's do this again.
Yes, sir. I will definitely be trying to be in touch because I would love to get you over here to teach a few things to my quarterbacks over here.
Now you're in Italy, right, Chris?
No, I'm in Germany.
Oh, Germany. Jeff, where are you at?
Tampa.
Oh, you're down in Tampa. You're down there. I'm in Orlando. I'm sitting here in Orlando right now. And where's Mason at?
South
Mason's
Germany
he's in South Germany
right now.
I got you. Thank you, guys.
We appreciate having you on. Thank you so much.
I would love to get out there and then do some things with the German Pro Football League, or at least the youth there. That just keep me abreast. I know Luke has been in touch with me, so Chris, keep me up to date. And Jeff, thank you very much. And
thank you,
Mason, thank you guys. Sorry I didn't hear you, Mason.
That's good. Maybe next time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Oh,
all right. I want to thank Mr. Ripon for coming on. He was very entertaining, very funny. I know, the show has been a little adjusted today. We did talk a little bit about the Super Bowl, but guess what? We can do that after the Super Bowl. We already know. We've already made our picks.
I didn't hear your pick, though. I didn't hear your pick, Chris. I didn't hear your pick.
I said.
I didn't hear your pick.
How can I? That team from the NFC West.
Oh my God! Who?
I just said it.
No, you didn't. You said the team from the
NFC West. There's only two teams left.
There's 4 teams in the division. We can't hear you.
But there's only 2 teams left.
I'm confused on what teams are in the playoffs, Chris.
Right.
Hey,
I haven't
you confused. Look, let me help you out.
Yeah, enlighten me. Oh, okay.
The team 1. I'm choosing team 1. I'm sorry, the picture is a little small. Last minute. But they're trying their best to get me to say it, and I won't.
Say it with your chest. Come on.
So right now, because we got about 20 more minutes of our show.
Yep.
We already covered NBA trades. We talked about NFL. Thank Mr. Mike Wise with the NBA trades, and thank Mr. Ripon for all the knowledge and the laughter and the stories from his days in St. Louis. Yes. And his days in Washington and showing us his Super Bowl ring. Right?
Yep.
So we're going to go ahead and turn this over to our leading expert on all things Football.
Football. That's right, football.
You got it, man, Mr. J.
All right, appreciate it. Welcome to the Red Card Report, ladies and gentlemen. The way I've always played and the way that we do things is no point getting yellows. If you're going to get a red, make sure you get your money's worth. So that's what we're going to try to give you on the Red Card Report. All right, so what's going on? First things first. So you got the PIF and you have Cristiano Ronaldo. Everyone knows Cristiano Ronaldo. Most people probably don't know about the PIF. So the PIF is Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. Fund is overseen by the Saudi Pro League centrally and provides funding for clubs annually based on their size, with the country's big four big teams: Al Nasir, Al Hilal, Al Ittihad, and Al Ali. They all receive about the same amount of money from the PIF, the Public Investment Fund. So for those who are familiar with golf, the PIF is the Saudi investment fund behind the PGA and the LIV merger. So same thing there. So the PIF owns 75% of the four clubs that I mentioned. The other 25% is owned by other people. So Ronaldo has been upset because the teams have gone on strike. Or he's gone on strike because their rivals signed 7 players in the transfer window, while his team only signed 1. And he's frustrated because he's saying the PIF is showing preferential treatment to their main rivals for the championship. And then because of that, now he's decided to sit out games. And so now that's starting to brew, starting to look a little bit ugly. Now, from what I understand is Ronaldo's team had the same amount of money, but they spent it on re-signing him. And they also signed João Felix and Kingsley Coleman at the beginning of the season. That's where most of their transfer budget was. But he feels, but their rivals signed Karim Benzema plus 6 other players. But the Benzema trade was apparently funded by a prince who owns the other 25%. So apparently he funded this transfer for that. And all these teams, private owned by at 25%, they can do these types of things. He's just frustrated because he feels like his rivals are getting preferential treatment. So he's a little bit frustrated with that. So we're going to see how long his strike lasts and see where it goes. The Saudi Arabian League is basically saying, hey, as great as Ronaldo is, he's not bigger than the league. So he needs to stop. But Ronaldo's not really, there's no slowing up right now. So I think it's the second game that he sat out. We'll see what goes on from there. So, yeah, more to come from that. All right. So move on to the games for this weekend. I don't know what just messed up on this, but something's right here. Anyway, so in the Premier League, Manchester United beat Tottenham 2-0. And right now, Bournemouth's playing Aston Villa.
Ain't that the game you were supposed to tell me about led this week?
Which game?
The Manchester United and Tottenham.
Oh, well, I would have told you Manchester United would win that game.
See, you owe me.
I'm just telling you, Tottenham's terrible. So, yeah, so they won 2-0. Tottenham had a red card. Like I said, red card report. They had a red card early in the game. Bournemouth and Aston Villa are on right now. Arsenal, league leaders Arsenal, are going to take on Sunderland. West Ham and Burnley. That's going to be a big game. Both those teams, I think they're 18th and 19th. So the bottom 3 teams get relegated. There's a lot of money to stay in the Premier League or fall down to the first division. So they call this a 6-pointer because if one team beats the other, they've essentially gained 6 points on the other team. So that's going to be a big game. Wolves and Chelsea are on right now. Chelsea's up 3-1 in the 83rd minute. And then Newcastle play Brentford a little bit later on. Let's see. Elsewhere, All right, so we got a little La Liga, we got some Bundesliga and some Serie A games today as well. Barcelona taking on Mallorca, trying to extend their lead at the top of La Liga. In Germany, Heidenheim takes on Hamburg, who surprisingly tied Bayern Munich last week 2-2. Wolfsburg takes on Borussia Dortmund, and Borussia Mönchengladbach take on Bayern Leverkusen. So a couple of good games there, and then moving on to
that's Mönchengladbach.
Okay. Hey, you know what? Anytime I get to the German teams, I'm just going to wait and pause, and you can say it in for me.
Roger.
Thank you. And then in Serie A, we have Napoli hosting Genoa. That's number 3 versus number 14. And then Fiorentina takes on Torino, 18 versus 13. We got some good games tomorrow as well. So, again, games of note. Got some in the Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga, Serie A, and League One. So we have big game. The big game is Liverpool versus Man City. 2 perennial powerhouses in the Premier League. That's going to be, that's a big game to see if Manchester City can keep pace with Arsenal or close that down, or if Liverpool can push up further in the tables. Definitely a big game to watch. Number 2 versus number 6. In the Liga, both Madrid teams play. So Atletico Madrid takes on Real Betis, and then Valencia take on Real Madrid. In the Bundesliga, so I have to apologize for those who were watching last week. I said Bayern Munich were going to beat Hamburg and end up tying. So stay away from Bayern Munich right now until they get back to their normal ways. But Bayern Munich should win. And let's see, in Serie A, you got Sassuolo versus Inter Milan, and Juventus versus Lazio. And finally, in France, in League One, PSG versus Marseille. These used to be huge games in the past. Hey, Jay, how you doing? And these are huge games in the past. 2 big teams. That should be a really good game as well. But that's it for the Red Carpet Report. Thank y'all for joining us. Let's turn it over back to Chris.
Well, that was the Red Carpet Report. Hey, look who's here.
Our favorite referee.
With 10 minutes to spare, he missed the whole show.
Yeah.
You missed the guest. You missed everything. How'd your game go?
Of course, Baumholder came down along with Grafenbeer.
Okay.
So, they had us, some of the old vets, sit there, and we would put on our jerseys and watch and stuff and just help out. And it was good to see everybody come together for the Super Bowl, European Super Bowl for flag football. And then tomorrow, the Atlanta Falcons cheerleaders, they'll be here with us as well. So everybody's just, excited for the Super Bowl. It's a good time of year, and everyone had a good time. So unfortunate, I wasn't able to make it with the guests that we had today. And from the different clips and segments that I saw, it seemed like they were pretty good. They had a pretty good time with you guys.
Yep. Hey, Jay. So we have all picked ours, including Chris. He just can't say the name, right? So we need to know, who are you going for? Right?
Going for the Patriots.
Whoa.
Hey, you want to put some yak on that?
Jeff, remember.
No. I know
Jeff.
if I pick the Patriots, that means Seattle will win.
So then you want Seattle to win.
Jeff, remember.
I'm going for
numbers and last.
Oh man.
All
It's
right.
not you or me.
That's right.
So, hey, Jay, we're glad that you could make the last part of the show. We're glad that you made it home safely and everything else. So,
Thank you.
So before we turn to get on, there's some things I do need to put out that we kind of not gotten to in the lightning round. Arizona men's basketball team is still undefeated. Miami of Ohio men's basketball team is still undefeated. UConn lost last night to St. John's.
That's a good
Very
game.
competitive game.
Yep.
Very competitive game. And if you're into NCAA basketball men's, there is a plethora of games today that's going to be going on, and there are going to be a lot of good games. Not, there's a few that should just be some. I don't know if I should watch this. You got a lot of key matchups going on. Michigan
Carolina,
State,
Duke.
Illinois, North Carolina, and Duke, Auburn and Alabama.
That's more of a football rivalry.
Hey, both of them are good basketball teams now.
Wow.
It's that SEC money.
Florida. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but I think Florida's playing. Gee whiz, come on, Chris.
Jeff, you got it?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Hold on, because I'm good.
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M, that's going to be a good game. You also have, I'm scrolling.
Oh, Lord.
But anyway, if you're into college basketball, today is a good day to be prepared to watch. There's going to be some games to be watched today. BYU is playing. God, Jesus, they come on at like 4 a.m. here in Germany. Oh, geez, come on, scroll faster. No, it's not Kansas. They beat them last week. But anyway, enjoy your basketball. And check this out. So we're going to have some special things going on during the Super Bowl. The long distance playbook will be live during the Super Bowl. So you're going to get real time opinions from the Playbook cast, excluding myself. Sorry.
Now, you said you might pop in.
I might pop in and say hi, but if I'm up.
Come on, man. It's the Super Bowl. You can't hang?
It's not that.
No, so if he doesn't go to work on Monday, he's taking vacation.
Yeah.
Chris don't like to take vacation time unless it's for good reason.
So
like if his Rams was in the Super Bowl, he'd take vacation.
Oh, vacation would have been on point. And look, you wouldn't even
Rams weren't.
Hey, my time card would have already been posted. Not gonna be here. So
Chris, hey Chris, who do you have tonight? Oklahoma State at Arizona.
Arizona gonna cover, I believe. As long as the handicap is under 22, I think they're gonna cover it.
All right. Well, who you got, Houston or BYU?
I will take the under. That's the game I was trying to find.
Illinois, Michigan State.
U of I, baby.
Duke, North Carolina.
Oh,
they're playing at home. Duke.
No, North Carolina.
No, it's at Carolina.
At Carolina.
It's at Carolina.
Look, it's not like it's not. It's they're in the same home city.
It's less than 10 miles apart.
Yeah.
But look, it's so bad. My son's over at Carolina now visiting a friend. He's like, yeah, the students can't even get tickets to go to that game.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
But on that game, I wouldn't even. So even though I think Duke is favored by 8,
should be.
It's 5.5. on the
I
ESPN.
wouldn't bet on that game.
Mm-mm.
I wouldn't bet on that game because there's too many variables there. North Carolina can get motivated and win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both play an excellent defensive game and don't cover the points.
But Cameron Boozer a problem.
The Boozer boys
Boozer
are a
boys
problem.
are a problem.
So that's the one thing. Like I wouldn't as a gambler, I would not even put no money on that game. Or I would split that game. I would basically take both teams.
Okay. What about the Big Ten? Illinois at Michigan State.
No, Jeff asked that. Chris said Illy.
I would take Illinois right now, even though that's my team. They're very hot right now. Michigan State's coming off of 2 losses, right? And Illinois. Here's the one thing I will say: Illinois does play very well in Lansing, and they're a very big team.
Okay.
Anymore? Come on, keep firing.
All right. Number 25, Tennessee.
Wait. Hold on. Before you move forward with that one, Michigan State coming off 2 losses, coached by the great Tom Izzo. Still got Illinois, no problems?
So, no, I think it's going to be a close game. I'm just saying Illinois plays well in Lansing, right? Tom Izzo, who I did have a chance to meet, he was doing like coaches, NCAA coaches were visiting troops downrange, coaching military teams. So I really do like Tom Izzo. It's something about his teams going into the tourney. When they get in the tourney, they flip a switch and they go from being, hey, we are. I'm not saying that they're going to be a 6 or a 7 seed, but there's times they were like a 6 seed and still end up in the Elite 8 because they shift gears. So now, what was you saying? You had one. Come on.
You had one. Jay.
Okay. The Tennessee ranked 25 at Kentucky.
Ooh, that's another good one. That game can go either way. I wouldn't touch it.
Okay. Because they both have almost identical records.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Auburn Alabama game, I would look more into the over in that game because Alabama, they don't play defense, but they will run you out of the gym if you let them.
Well, they struggling as of late, so
this is betting books by Chris, just so y'all know.
Hey, Chris, you want to go ahead and take us out?
Yeah. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to the Long Distance Playbook. I hope y'all enjoy the time here. Please tell a friend about us. We always having fun. We always tell you what we think, and we enjoy talking sports. And I would love to thank our guest that we had today, Mr. Mike Wise, and quarterback Mark Rippon, former Super Bowl winning and MVP quarterback of the Washington Redskins. And I hope y'all have a blessed weekend. And we'll see you next Saturday right here on the Long Distance Playbook.
Yep.